So good morning from Darlington, County Durham, another town in the northeast of England. But before I show you around the historical centre, I'm going to show you this. This is a big clue as to what happened with Darlington in its historical past. Look at that. Right, now it's time to head into Darlington town centre. Let's go. But unlike a lot of towns in this part of northeast England, whose main money was made by coal and steel and that sort of industry, Darlington's wasn't. It was from trains. Well, Market Square seems to be taken over by kids and parents because it's the start of the British summer holidays. So if you want to go on one of these things, that's what you can do. They've even got a little sand pit with the deck chairs. Look at this for the kids to play on. Wow, that looks really good. And it's packed. But you can see all the historical buildings around the edge of this square. You can imagine back in the day, all the railway engineers who were staying in this sort of part of the world. But I'm going to take a walk now to St Cuthbert's, an important church of Darlington and the northeast. And here it is. That looks grand. And you can see there's a bishop carrying a head. You see it on the wall. But I think we'll have a look inside.
Well, I think again, like most towns, it's not doing as well as it was.
Yeah.
But I think compared to Stockton, yes.
What a friendly woman she was. So she was telling me that St Cuthbert, he's the guy on the front of the church holding the head. The Vikings were going to come here, and they were worried about them taking his body, St Cuthbert's body, so they dug him up and they put the king's head in with him for some reason, and they shipped it off somewhere else to save the Danes and the Vikings taking it. What a beautiful church. This building here is Darlington Covered Market. So I'm going to try to go in and see if I can see any of the history there. Dates from the Victorian times. Oh, this is exactly what I expected. Nicely covered. Lots of stalls. You can get your meat. The array of British fruit and vegetables. Nothing exotic in Darlington Covered Market. So I was just looking how the name Darlington came about. I was hoping it was going to be like a town full of darlings, but no. It's from the Anglo-Saxon Darlington, which means settlement of the Dartmouth people. And then it changed to Darlington with an E, and then it became Darnton until eventually Darlington. Nice little fountain, just in front of Greg's. This is the back of the covered market. Nice that they've kept all that traditional lettering. And those houses look really good, don't they? It's really bizarre because I live in Middlesbrough. I was born in Middlesbrough and lived there for many, many years while I was growing up. And we never ever came to Darlington. Don't know why. It's pretty good. Look at it. So you can see behind me there the clock tower, Darlington's most distinctive feature, and it was gifted to the town by Joseph Peace, spelled with an S, and there's a statue of him just along here which we're going to go and see. But what clock tower? So in the 18th century, Daniel Defoe, famous author, he came to this town, and this is what he noted. He said it was good for bleaching of linen, but then he said there was nothing else remarkable except for dirt. But before that, in Tudor times, Darlington was known as a refuge for thieves on the way up to Scotland from London. And one guy who came here, who wasn't a thief, he booked himself into a local inn, and as he got there, this horde of Darlington people with clubs and bats came charging at him, but he managed to get inside. Thank God, eh? So Joseph Peace was a champion for Darlington, because back in the day when all the coal and the collieries of County Durham were all churning out coal, someone thought, let's build a canal in Darlington, but he went, no, let's build a railway instead. So that's how this city gained its fortune, thanks to him, Joseph Peace. a prominent Quaker of Darlington. So there's a pub behind me, Rosie's Tavern, and I've just noticed something on the side. Unlike a lot of places where the prices are getting out of hand, here, a proper pint at the proper price. Look at that, £2.30 for a pint. Is this the cheapest pub in the UK? Could be. So back in the day, before Darlington became like an industrial centre, it was like a farming place, and the farmers who had sheep around here would bring them to this street here, Skinnergate, you can see up there, and this is where they'd have the skins of all of the animals, so people could, you know, buy the skins and maybe tan them, turn them to leather. But this is it, Skinnergate. Different nowadays, but maybe this is the evidence of it. These beef and pork purveyors, the old remnants of Skinnergate, together with the Tanner's Hall. So yeah, there's evidence of the old industry. Darlington has loads of these little streets here. Wind, which I think might be like an old Norse word, meaning like a thin alley. But yeah, they're everywhere, and they're so pretty. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
The taste of Syria falafel fella. I honestly didn't know what to expect before coming to Darlington, but I wasn't expecting it to be as good as this. I thought it'd be more like Stockton or Middlesbrough, a bit broken, a bit run down, but this one seems to be on an upward spiral rather than a downward spiral. It's clean, it's ordered. There are not police cars whipping past with the sirens blazing. There are not people swilling from cans of lager on park benches, although actually I have seen a few of those. Darlington is doing all right. It's even got a glitter ball. I mean, I don't remember seeing any flower beds like this in Stockton, or people just sitting outside in a cafe. So this is the Quaker building where they congregate, and I was a bit unsure what Quakers were, but apparently it started after the English Civil War back in, I think, the 17th century, and it was founded by a guy who decided that he wanted to be a Christian, but he didn't want all the, you know, the pomp and the circumstance and clergymen, so people don't have any of that. They don't have any priests. People just turn up and they reflect. Yeah, Quakers. But the Quakers in Darlington was so important because there was basically two families, and one of them set up all the factories to deal with making trains, and the other one dealt with the banks. So they were hugely instrumental in the history of Darlington. The Quaker House. So Middlesbrough and Stockton had the River Tees, but Darlington has the River Skerne, not sure how to pronounce it, and here it is. Let's behold what the river looks like. And this is it behind me, the Hippodrome Palace. Look how grand that would have been. Who would have played there? So we've got Sue Pollard, Josh Beeston, Joe Pasquale. These are all like British primetime TV stars, and they're all going to be playing here soon. Right, let's go in Corn Mill Shopping Centre and let's see if it's the home of vape shops and stuff like that, or whether it's got higher quality shops. Tesco, the Savoury Cafe, a Greggs, if anyone's watching who's not English, Greggs is probably one of the biggest chains in the UK. You can get your sausage rolls, your pasties, your sandwiches. You see these literally everywhere, in airports, on high streets. Every town will have a Greggs, multiple Greggs. And at the side, look how grand the library is. But now I'm going to head to the car. I'm going to drive about 5 minutes up the road to a museum, a special museum. And I hate museums, but I'm going to visit this one. So here is the Htown Museum, dedicated to the rail heritage of Darlington. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So on the 27th of September 1825, nearly 200 years ago, George Stephenson, you know George Stephenson, climbed aboard his locomotive engine and he powered 11 carriages of coal and 20 carriages of passengers, and it went at a top speed of 12 miles an hour, and it took 2 hours to complete the 8.7 miles to Darlington. World history was made here, and the invention of the train, the passenger train. Let's go in. How much are the tickets?
Tickets are free.
Oh, okay.
So entrance is straight that way, but the cafe is that way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, free entrance. Get that, free entrance. Let's go into the North Road Station Museum and see what's in there. Hello. This is more like it, isn't it? Look. So this is it, locomotion number 1. This is the one that George Stephenson would have climbed aboard, this thing, and powered all that thing, transforming transport in the northeast. Instead of canals, they had trains. And then 23 years later, Stephenson had one of these, he built this. That is a better looking one, isn't it? Robert Stephenson. So if you want, you can put some of these costumes on, like a flat cap. Let's have a look at a flat cap. It's a bit small. I don't think we can pull it off. Let's try the top hat. So that's it, Darlington done. I've seen the central core, I've seen this museum, I've seen that brick train right at the beginning. So yeah, I recommend Darlington. I think it's one of the up and coming northeastern towns. Till next time.